What's up, fellow campers, and welcome to the Campus Chronicles, the place where we will discuss all things van life and camping. Today, I'm kicking off a brand new series, and trust me, this one will push some buttons. I'm calling it the Soapbox Rant series, where I'll be unleashing my unfiltered opinions related to camping and van life. Now, this may get a little unconventional, perhaps even a tad controversial. Maybe the language will get a bit, shall we say, colorful. But hey, I hope that makes it interesting. So, before we plunge into today's topics, here's an important disclaimer for you guys. The content here is just my thoughts, my personal quirks and pet peeves. And hey, opinions are like tents, everybody should have one. So you may ask yourself, why should you watch this? Why should you stick around? Well, I want you to watch to disagree, challenge my perspectives, and if my camping philosophies rub you the wrong way, drop your thoughts in the comments. I am eager to see what you have to say, and hey, I promise I will not judge. Well, maybe a little. Now, let's dive into something that's been itching me for quite a while. It's reflected to some extent in the title of this video, The Campgrounds I've Come to Hate. It is time for a little rant on why some campgrounds just don't cut it for me anymore. You see, I genuinely enjoy camping, or else I wouldn't be here creating this content. However, I've developed a growing dislike for campgrounds. That being said, though, I don't hate all campgrounds. It's literally just the bad ones that get on my nerves. Ever since I was a little kid, throwing together a makeshift tent in my folks' backyard, I've been hooked on the thrill and serenity that camping brings. And back in the day, campgrounds were the only place where you could go to satisfy those cravings. They offered the ease and security of a well-organized setup, designated spots for your tent or your van, picnic tables, washrooms, and potentially a bunch of other more or less useful amenities. Well, let's be real for a second. Is camping at a campground genuine outdoor living? Is it true wilderness adventure? Certainly not. It is more like your regular weekend routine just got a nature-themed makeover. Of course, all within the confines of a campground, creating not much more than the mere illusion of an outdoor adventure. And so as the years rolled by, I found myself resorting to campgrounds only when absolutely necessary. And why, you may ask? Well, here's my gripe list, in no particular order. So picture this. You've just stumbled across the most gorgeous campground spot thinking, I've just hit the jackpot. And suddenly you realize that your camping neighbor has a front row seat to every move you make. That's not exactly the serene escape I signed up for when I decided to go camping. And then noise pollution, let's talk about that, shall we? I've had my fair share of encounters with party animals who think camping is essentially synonymous with blasting tunes until the wee hours. Heck, I've even been known to join the party here and there. And sure, it's kind of amusing at first, but the charm wears off quickly, especially when the beats are still thumping at 3 a.m. in the morning and nobody does anything about it. This is clearly not my idea of a lullaby under the stars. Have you ever set foot in those campgrounds that scream artificial wonderland rather than wild, untamed outdoors? You know the ones I'm talking about. They have designated pitches, neatly laid out like a game of Tetris, paved roads guiding you like a car's sat-nav. And don't even get me started on the added extras like swimming pools, playgrounds, and would you believe it, supersized children's entertainment centers. Call me old school, but all these bells and whistles kind of suck the soul out of the natural camping experience I'm signed up for. It totally lacks the thrill that you get when navigating through untamed terrain or picking a random spot to pitch. Sometimes it feels like I'm camping in a theme park rather than the great outdoors. I've never been one to color inside the lines. Call it a personality quirk, even weakness, if you will, but campgrounds with their strict regulations, they really cramp my style. I'm all about that freedom to choose where I pitch my tent or park my van. And I don't want someone else to dictate my camping dance for me. You see, the joy of camping for me lies in the spontaneity, in the thrill of finding that perfect spot that just calls out to me, "Here I am, camp with me here." It's about embracing the unpredictable beauty of nature, not sticking to somebody else's grid plan. I want to be able to set up my camp where the view is breathtaking, not where a list of rules and regulations say I should. And let's not even get started on those designated quiet hours. I get it. Respect your fellow campers and all. But sometimes the best stories are told around a crackling campfire and under the stars, and not while whispering in fear of breaking someone else's noise curfew. So tell me to park within the lines and follow strict schedules and rules. That's a surefire way to see me hit the road again. However, give me the freedom to let the adventure unfold organically, and you've got yourself a happy camper right here. And then there's the staff. Oh my, what has happened to the friendly campground staff of yesteryear? Nowadays, it's like they're just cruising through the motions, swapping genuine smiles for rehearsed phrases and gestures. I've run the gamut from unhelpful to downright rude and condescending encounters with the campground staff. And in those moments, the only thing that gives me some Machiavellian satisfaction is firing up Google for a scathing review. And you know what? So should you. But both good and bad reviews. I think it's the most effective way that we have today to praise or provide other feedback to campground owners. It is not about revenge, it's about making them understand what we truly want. With the surge in demand during and post-COVID, the prices at campgrounds have gone through the roof. And I can't really help but scratch my head and wonder, with these prices, why go camping? Why go camping in the first place? Why not just check into a hotel or cozy up in an Airbnb? Take my last camping escape to Sweden, for instance. It felt like I was forking out enough cash to finance a 2-week tropical getaway in the Caribbean. Camping used to be the budget-friendly choice, a haven for those seeking the great outdoors without breaking the bank. But lately, it's like they're trying to outprice the luxuries of a swanky hotel. The sad truth is, camping is becoming less and less accessible, especially for folks on a tighter budget. And those who just want to have the flexibility to decide on where to go on the fly are equally challenged. What really gets my camping compass spinning is when campgrounds start throwing in those minimum stay requirements in order for you to actually be able to make a reservation. Seriously? Camping is all about spontaneity, and being told I need to commit to a certain minimum stay in order to secure a reservation is yet another one of those no-go moments for me. Offering flexibility is key, dear campground owners. Let's talk about environmental footprint of campground. And hey, it's no drop in the bucket. The contrast between those perfectly manicured lawns and the unnecessary surplus of amenities clashes with the very essence of seeking a raw wilderness experience. Particularly simple campground ecosystems are throwing up a distress signal under the weight of human intrusion. You see, it's not just about the designated pitches and paved roads. It's about the toll these structures take on the natural habitat of campgrounds. The well-intentioned but often overdone landscaping disrupts the delicate balance that makes the wilderness what it is. That very thing we seek, that communion with nature, is compromised when we inadvertently replace the native flora with a standardized, manicured look. And let's not forget the excessive amenities that are supposed to make our camping experience better, but end up burdening the environment. The unnecessary frills from swimming pools, the oversized children entertainment parks, they all add a layer of stress to the local ecosystem that it simply wasn't designed to handle. So next time you're setting up camp, think beyond the convenience and comfort. Consider the impact, the delicate dance we have with nature, and how we might be unintentionally tripping the scales. After all, the preservation of beauty of the great outdoors is everyone's responsibility. Now let's talk about the ongoing saga between holiday campers and those long-term residents. It's like the Hatfields and McCoys, but with tents and caravans. Lawn mowing at 8 a.m. while others are still in dreamland? Been there, done that. And you know when it happens, because it often feels a bit like starting a rock band in a library. So with all these campground shenanigans, the allure of traditional campgrounds started fading for me. I've ditched the holiday versus long-term campers battlefield and embraced the challenges and rewards of free camping or wild camping or boondocking. Different words for the same thing. I vividly remembered my first wild camping spot. That sweet, sweet taste of liberation. Choosing my own campsite, parking in the wild, and connecting with nature on its own term was a total game changer. Why I enjoy wild camping so much? Well, that's a topic for another video. Check in the link below. Once it's there, it is uploaded. I promise it will be wild. And there you have it, folks. The lowdown on why traditional campgrounds sometimes feel like a comedy of errors for me, and why I am growing passionately disconnected from them. And now it's your turn. What are your campground pet peeves? Drop your thoughts, your stories, and maybe your own rant or two into the comments below. Let's turn this video into a campground confessional. That's a wrap for today's adventure. If you found yourself nodding along or even giggling and smiling at some of my campground tales, go ahead and do me a solid. You know what to do. Hit that subscribe button, ring the bell for notifications, and if that's all too much, throw this video a thumbs up. I am still navigating this whole video thing here, so your support really means the world to me. Here's to hoping that the production value of my videos will improve in the future. Fingers crossed. And until next time, live wild and camp free.